Pittsburgh Steelers announced they've signed quarterback Aaron Rodgers to a one-year contract, paving the way for the future Hall of Famer to be their starting quarterback week 1 against, you guessed it, the Jets. Rodgers is expected to be a mandatory minicamp over the weekend, putting the end to a saga that went 80-plus days. But now, here we are with our Steelers reporter, Brooke Pryor, who was there every step of the way of this saga. First of all, Brooke, congratulations on getting your summer back. I'm very happy for you. What's been the reaction inside the Steelers facility to this finally becoming official?
Well, Matt, do you remember as a kid asking your parents on a road trip, are we there yet?
Yes.
Are we there yet?
How much
Your parents
longer?
would just say, nope, not yet. Exactly. That has been all of our interactions with the Steelers players and the front office over the last couple months. Every single time I saw Omar Khan, I'd say, do you have a quarterback yet? And he'd say, nope, not yet. And now he can say, yes, he does. The players can say, yes, we do. And that is a sense of relief for everyone involved because, like your parents on the road trip, they knew that they were eventually going to get to that destination. It was just a matter of when. And once you get there, there is an exhale. And for the Steelers, there's definitely an exhale because nothing is final with Aaron Rodgers until it is, until his name is on that dotted line. And so this is a team that's very much been hanging in the balance the entire offseason. They said they conducted their offseason business regardless of what Aaron Rodgers was doing, independent of Rodgers' decision. But we've seen all the moves. They waited until the 6th round to draft a quarterback. They have been waiting for Rodgers to make this official. Now it is. And now we can say, we are there. He will be here in Pittsburgh on Tuesday for minicamp.
But like any road trip, did the Steelers stop at Buc-ee's on the way? Because that is a mandatory stop on every road trip. If they did, then they're set up with beef jerky and a lot of fun. Hey, Brooke, great reporting. More of it on ESPN.com. Thank you.
All right, still ahead on
Pryor said a moment ago, our Steelers reporter. Are we there yet? The answer is yes. The Pittsburgh Steelers announced Aaron Rodgers' one-year contract, paving the way for the future Hall of Famer to be their starting quarterback. It's been a long time in the making, but the deal finally got done yesterday afternoon. He is reportedly on a plane to Pittsburgh this week, and he'll start a minicamp on Tuesday, the mandatory minicamp. So we welcome in our senior NFL writer, Jeremy Fowler. Fowler, we're here. How did we finally get over the goal line with Rodgers and the Steelers?
Man, we knew this was going to happen, right?
Yep.
This is going to be unpredictable. But Mike Tomlin led the charge to bring that man, Aaron Rodgers, to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm told they had several meaningful conversations over recent weeks and months to hash all this out. I was told that things started to intensify Thursday morning inside the Steelers building. That's where people there felt, okay, this is going to get done. And there was a sense of relief because they really hadn't gotten a full assurance just yet. They had good vibes and expectations and all those things, but nothing was done. They finally got that concretely set up, and really they're pumped now because they feel like Rodgers has remained in good shape despite being away from the team. They knew he had this personal matter he was dealing with. That was a big part of why this took a long time. The Steelers were giving him grace and respect and his time to figure all that out. But it looks like now he's ready for football. They feel like their receiving core is young and hungry, which will mesh well with Rodgers and the way he's
And I'll
playing.
tell you this, they gave a 41-year-old quarterback his offseason. I mean, it's June now. Now it's really time to start getting to work. They left him alone, and now this could work out. We'll see. Speaking of quarterbacks, things not working out for Anthony Richardson of the Colts. He is dealing with a shoulder injury. It's the same one he had surgery on, which is worth keeping an eye on. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, so Matt, it's the AC joint that he suffered an injury on in 2023. I'm told there's some inflammation from that. Richardson went really hard this offseason in an OTS. He was throwing a lot, sometimes hundreds of footballs a day. So he felt some soreness, some inflammation. He reported it to Dr. Neil Elatrosh, who did the surgery 2 years ago. They looked at the scans. I'm told structurally this is okay. It's just an inflammation and rest soreness type issue. So he fully expects to be ready to go for training camp, but it is an issue, make no mistake, especially with Daniel Jones. They're paying him some decent coin to potentially be the starter.
And I'd say this, the issue as well is that he's already had surgery on it, and that could spook a lot of people. But again, beginning of June, end of July, should have some time. In the meantime, we'll just bug you for all the news.
We'll be back.
Aaron Rodgers at approximately 3:40-something Thursday afternoon made his decision, and the Steelers then announced that they've got their quarterback a one-year contract. He will be the starter week 1 against the Jets, which is all laced with all kinds of fun storylines. He's expected to be at mandatory minicamp this week, fly to Pittsburgh today as we welcome in our NFL analyst Kevin Clark. What do you make of the fit with Rodgers and the Steelers?
It's the best available option for both sides. I know people Rodgers' age who settled in their life and it worked out for them, okay? And so this is, in his situation, he can still do things pre-snap. He can still sling the ball down the field. He can't move as well. And people say, oh, if only he could move. If he could move, he wouldn't be available for a one-year deal on June 7th. He'd still be an MVP candidate. But if you're looking at the Steelers, you're looking at all the available options, and he's the best one. What do the Steelers provide him? Well, they provide him DK Metcalf, who's obviously a #1 receiver in this league, and a running game, and a offensive coordinator in Arthur Smith who's going to use play action. I hope he embraces that. He did not in New York. The Matt LaFleur offense in Green Bay worked with Aaron Rodgers. I want to see a merger between the Rodgers offense and the Arthur Smith offense, similar to what we had in Green Bay.
And you can't overstate the stability of an organization like the Steelers to play into this. And I think it's going to be a fun watch throughout the rest of the summer.
I completely agree with you. The big thing is the Jets didn't want anybody bigger than the coach. Nobody in Pittsburgh is bigger than the coach.
That's right.
Nobody.
Or the organization.
In the town. McAfee sold out the arena, so maybe him there in Pittsburgh. But everybody else, it's 1A, 1B.
Outside of Indianapolis. Hey, Rodgers was the last major free agent domino to fall, but what offensive move do you believe stood above the rest?
I'm looking at Davante Adams here, and I think people kind of rolled their eyes because that veteran outside receiver in Los Angeles has flopped in the past. Sammy Watkins being one, Allen Robinson didn't perform, but I'm looking at Davante Adams, the way he finished the season in a bad offense. He still got open at a top 15 rate in this league. It's a cheap option. Puka Nacua is going to do most of the work there. Between McVay, Stafford coming back, this is a legitimate Super Bowl team. I think the young guys on defense are going to gel. Jared Verse, Braden Fisk, those guys, Cam Kitchens are going to take another leap in year 2. I think this is a special team, and I think Davante Adams doesn't have to do a lot to be a star here.
Back half of the season, the Rams really came on to get into the postseason. It's a fun young team to watch with a future Hall of Fame quarterback of their own right. So that's the offensive side of the ball. Which player on defense do you think was the best move?
I was looking around, and I'm going draft here. I'm going Malachi Starks, the safety out of Georgia, who's now with the Ravens. The big thing for me, Matt, is that the adjustments they made in the secondary last year in Baltimore made them the best defense in football in November and December. That was Kyle Hamilton playing deep safety and letting everything else go to plan. Now, Malachi Starks can be able to play anywhere on the field, including deep safety, and he's going to free up Kyle Hamilton to be one of the best players in football, in all of football. So he's going to be able to play 5 positions. Hamilton will be able to play 5 positions. This adds an element to this defense I'm not sure the NFL is quite ready for. He's going to be an impact guy, played a ton of SEC reps, a ton of big games. He's not going to, there's some injuries back there. He's not going to be a problem starting week 1.
You come out of Georgia and Kirby Smart.
Yeah, you've been coached up.
Fundamentally sound football, and you step right into the NFL. Now, we know 7 teams hired new head coaches this offseason. What's the best fit?
Ben Johnson. I mean, this is the easiest one. Yeah. This is the easiest question that I got here. When I look at Ben Johnson, I look at the Bears realizing there was a crisis on their hands. If they failed another young quarterback, they would never get another young quarterback like Caleb Williams ever again. But then B, they understood what they had to do. It's not just getting Ben Johnson, it's professionalizing the offensive line. It's Joe Thuney. It's guys who are going to keep Caleb Williams upright, have him get rid of the ball quicker, and let him do the Superman stuff behind the line of scrimmage. He likes to hold on to the ball too long. We know that about him. We saw it in college. And to me, one of the dumbest plans I've ever seen is having a guy who holds on to the ball too long behind one of the worst offensive lines in football. Okay?
That didn't work.
With a scheme guy who wasn't doing anything to help. Okay, that was a disaster last year. It will not be repeated. The Bears, I don't want to overstate this, the Bears may have figured something out. For the first time in my life.
It could work, and I'll tell you this, in terms of Caleb, last year the spotlight was squarely on him. I think they had a 9.5 win total going into last season. And then Jayden Daniels comes out of nowhere and says, hey, wait a second, I'm going to be the best rookie in the NFL. So perhaps Caleb, with a little bit of pressure off in a new regime, could settle him down to maximize the talent we saw in college.
Something very similar happened the year before with Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, where everybody's talking about C.J. Stroud as an MVP candidate in year 2. Nobody's talking about Bryce Young, and there was just a quiet resurrection. The spotlight was off for him, allowed him to get better week over week. It won't be a disaster this year.
Year 3 for Bryce, though. I mean, it's now or never.
Gotta go.
Wish you didn't have to go, but time constraints. You can see more of Kevin on This Is Football with Kevin Clark, the podcast wherever